Maybe fixed. Maybe fixed. Hopefully fixed. I'm hoping that is sorted it. Are we back? Looks like it. Hopefully. Right, it looks like we're back. Thank God. It looks like we're back. Oh, my Lord. Let's see if I'm too late. We are 45 minutes late because of that electric cut-off. Let's have a beer. Oh dear, what a day, what a day. Carl, how you doing, buddy? We've just had a big bloody problem. We've just had all the electric cut off for the last half an hour. I was like, no, no, not tonight. Oh dear, I don't know whether you saw, we went live just after 8:30 and then all of a sudden it was like, boosh, gone. Nothing I could do. So I've been battling, trying to get it all working again. What a nightmare. How you doing, buddy, anyway? Are you good? We'll just give it a couple of minutes, guys, to see if we can get some people in. Fine here, dude. You're at home. Nice, man. I don't know. It's one of them things, you just plan to do everything and then all of a sudden nothing works out as you want it to. Nightmare. It is what it is. It is what it is. Just means we're going to have to go extra quick tonight to get this done. I can hear a little bit of the fans in the background. My computer's going crazy. Just turn it down a little bit. You should still be able to hear me though. It should be all good. Get all this as big as I can so I can actually see what I'm doing. I wonder if there's a way to make that bigger. Don't look like there is. Don't know. Oh dear. Right, what time are we on? 16 minutes past. We'll give it till 20 past 9, 20 past 10, 20 past 11. It won't take that long, but I wanted to make sure that we were done for 11. But if not, we'll give it 4 minutes, three and a half minutes, and then we'll crack on. We'll see what happens. Is the mic coming through all right, mate? I can see it. It should be. I just didn't want too much of the fan noise in the background. Dun, dun, dun. Have you got yourself a beer, Carl? You got one of these? Sound. I am 45 minutes late, so some people may not turn up. We had 100 viewers not last Sunday, the Tuesday before. I was going to do it last Tuesday, but a lot of people said do it on the Sunday, so we said okay, we'll do it Sunday. But we are a little bit late, to be fair. A little late to the party. You might notice this motherboard here. It's yours. Ah, you got a whiskey. Nice, 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 nice. As I said, we'll just give it a couple more minutes till 20 past, and then we will kick off. Whether we've got 2 or whether we've got 200 makes no difference to me. It's all good. Who else has just joined? We've got another gentleman that's just joined. We're going to go fierce and fast today. Happy donation to the cause. Mate, like I said, that's why I wanted to check with you, just to make sure everything was all good, because now that we've got it fixed, it's like, oh, God. Don't get me wrong, it took a long time to do, but we managed to do it, which is good. And it'll be perfect for this kind of build as well. It should turn out really, really nice. Should do anyway. It's going to be all RGB, and yeah, I think that motherboard with that GPU, with that CPU, I think it'll turn out quite nice. And I think it'll look really nice as well, if I can get it all working, which should be quite straightforward. Shouldn't be a problem. Vinny Fisher, how you doing, man? Welcome to the stream, buddy. Nice to have you here. Right, we're at 20 past. I said no matter what, we would start, we would crack on. So, I'm going to do normal introduction, guys. So, welcome to Tech Check, guys. My name's Gareth. Today we're going to be doing another PC build, but this time it's going to be around about £700, around $800, something like that. So, before we kick off, just want to give you an insight to what parts we're going to be using in this particular build. And it's going to be a bit of a flashy build, an all RGB build in this nice little tempered case. So to kick things off, we're going to be utilising the i7 9700K 8-core CPU. Absolutely bang on, great value for money, and you can pick them up for, I would say, somewhere between 150 and 200 pounds at this moment. So again, this is a new piece, new component as well, so hopefully we should have no issues whatsoever. We're going to be chucking in that with some 3200 megahertz C16. Never used this RAM before, from KLEVV. Looked really nice. Got it on a deal on Black Friday, and I thought for the 60 quid, we'll try it out. We're going to be chucking that in this Z370 motherboard, ASUS MAXIMUS 5. Very kindly donated by Carl in chat. Absolutely fantastic, feature-rich motherboard. All the RGB headers, all the fan headers you could ever want, plus loads of connectivity as well. So supports 8th and 9th gen CPUs, so we're all good there. We're going to be using these 3 120mm SAHARA Gaming Pirate Eye RGB fans, and they're going to go on this 240mm cooler at the top as an exhaust, and then one at the rear as an exhaust. Brings me nicely onto this lovely GAMEMAX case as well. So tempered glass side panel, 2 200mm RGB front fans, and should make all of these components turn really nice. So we're going to cool that 9700K with this Cooler Master Master Liquid Pro 240. And then finally, we're going to chuck in a lovely GTX 1070 8GB card. So that should fit really, really nicely with the rest of these components as well. So that being said, we're going to go fast and fierce today, and hopefully you'll join me for the ride. Right. My boss wants a build, I think. Nice. Vinny, sound thanks. Simply watching. No worries at all, mate. Eagerly watching. I appreciate you with us, and hopefully we can get this built in the next hour or so, and hopefully can show you what it looks like at the end. So what we'll do, guys, is I'll clean everything off. We'll chuck out the motherboard, CPU, RAM, and this brand new I forgot to mention, obviously, the brand spanking new NVMe drive as well. That's a 1 terabyte from Sabrent as well. So we've not skimped out here, guys, and this is really a really good PC for around £700, $800. So should have no hassle here at 1080p and some 1440p, but the graphics card will be the limitation there. So without further ado, let's crack on, and I'll get it on and we'll crack on basically. So what we'll do is we'll move all of these. Oh. Right. We want this, we don't want that. We want this, we want this, we don't want that. We don't need that at the minute, so we'll move it to one side. And we'll leave that there because it's not going to hurt anything. It's out the way. It's not a terribly massive case, so it's not a problem at all. Hey up in, how you doing, matey? I'm very good, thank you. Welcome to the stream, buddy. You've not missed much. We've just kicked off. We had a bit of an issue with regards to the electric. We had a power cut which knocked all the electric out for the last 40 minutes. So apologies for the late stream, guys. But again, we're not going to mess around tonight. We're just going to get this built. So I won't go through a step-by-step tutorial. It's self-explanatory. We'll follow the same premise as what we always do, but I'll video record it and we'll put a shorter, detailed version on probably Friday. We'll post it live. Right, let's crack on then. So this Z370 motherboard, as I've already said, let me get it out of this bag here. Absolutely fantastic motherboard. For those who don't know, if you've watched some of the recent videos, you will notice this motherboard. This is a motherboard that came in Carl's computer, which was an 8700K along with a GTX 1080 Ti. Basically, the motherboard was dead and the CPU was dead. The CPU I couldn't do anything with. It's just basically no good. It's like a 200 quid paperweight. Absolute nothing I could do. Yeah, we binned that one actually. But the motherboard itself, reading through all the forums and stuff like that, we could actually get an EEPROM programmer and we could reset the BIOS. Now, it is soldered in this BIOS, so it was an absolute nightmare to actually sort. But that being said, I managed to unsolder the BIOS chip, reprogram it, resolder it on, and now we have a fully fledged and working MAXIMUS 5 board, which is absolutely fantastic because these aren't cheap, guys. And yeah, it's 3 generations old now, but for something like an 8700K or a 9700K or even a 9900K, this is going to be absolutely perfect. So as always then, guys, what we're going to do is we'll just open up the socket. We'll take our 9700K. Now, I have took these out previously and I have tested them just to ensure that they are working, because there's nothing more embarrassing than coming on live and then the component's not working. So, as always, if we can get in here, I always say don't rush this bit because they have a tendency to fly out, and this one I've sellotaped down. I've sellotaped it that good I can't get in it. There we go. Right, so as always, guys, triangle on the CPU. We want to match the triangle on the socket itself. We can go ahead and drop that into place just like that, and then we can lower down the retention bracket and fold it in. Don't forget, don't throw these away, guys, because number one, if you ever want to sell the motherboard, it's much nicer to keep hold of this, and it means that your pins are not going to get bent in your socket as well, so don't throw those away. Right, moving on to the RAM. I've not opened this before, so we'll get these ones out. So this is a mixture of basically new and older parts as well. So the older parts are the all-in-one and the motherboard and the GPU. Everything else is absolutely brand spanking new. As you can see, I can't get it out of the box. There we go. So, as we said previously, this is some RGB Crass X from KLEVV. It is, like I said, it's 3200 CL16, decent timings, and was a really decent price as well. Got it for, I think, 58 or 60 quid, something like that. But all in all, really pleased with that, because DDR4 with DDR5 coming out is obviously reduced, but it's still not as cheap as what we'd like it. Right. I can't get it in, I can't get it out. There we go. There we go. Right. So as we always say, guys, there's a notch on the actual dim stick or itself, just in well, I will always say it's in the middle, but it's not in the middle, it's more to the right hand side. So what we have to do is we have to match that with our actual dim slot itself. Now, because this has got 4 dim slots, we need to ensure that we're populating the first one on the outermost right hand side, so we can go ahead and open up our slots. Now we want to populate this first one on the right hand side, slide it in. So he says, there we go. Have we got it lined up? We have, and press down firmly on 2 sides. Same for the other one, and all we're going to do is we're going to miss a slot and put it in the next one. There we go. Press down firmly, and then that's our RAM nicely installed. And to be fair, it looks pretty nice, to be honest. Yeah, quite like that. Quite nice. So in terms of our NVMe drive, now we want to always install that on our uppermost slot up here. Now we're going to need a screwdriver. We can go ahead and remove this heatsink if we had a bigger one. There we go. Just remove the 2 screws on the heat shield. I don't know what you screwed this down with, Carl, but it's bloody tight. I think I've got this screwdriver is just spinning. Yeah, just spinning. And this one's going to be too big. This is going to be a fun night tonight. Oh, I'm going to round it off and I can't get it out. Oh no. First problem. Montana Spack. How are you? Oh, good, matey. Good. I can't get it out. I can't get it in. I can't get it out. Let's try a different way. Let's try a different one. Hopefully one of these will work. This seems to be a very tight little screw. Here we go. I've got you. I've got you. That did not want to come out. Did not want to come out. There we go. Last thing I wanted to do was round that off, because if I did, we wouldn't be able to get our NVMe drive in, which would have been an absolute pain. So again, guys, brand new Rocket NVMe drive here from Sabrent, 1 terabyte. It is only obviously Gen 3, but with that being said, obviously this board doesn't support Gen 4 drives anyway, so we went for more capacity with the budget that we actually had. So opening this up, that's what she said. Just, do you know when you know that it's going to be bad because nothing's gone right from the start? It's like I went live and then all of a sudden, bang, electricity cut, and you think, oh, God almighty, what's going to go wrong next? A screw won't come out the M.2 drive, so hey-ho. So really like these Sabrent drives, guys. I've got 3 in my computer up here. They are the Rocket NVMe 4.0, so Gen 4 drives. These are 2 terabyte ones. So it would be considerably faster than this one, and it's twice the size. But for what I actually paid for this, I think it was £80. Yeah, £79.99 on Black Friday deals. So 1 terabyte Gen 3, absolutely fantastic value for money. And for me, this is going to be fantastic for our boot drive and for plenty of storage for our most played games or any stored items that you wish to do so. Now, it does have a secondary M.2 slot down here if you want to obviously add another one of these, or a larger capacity drive down here also. So I just think that in something like a $700 or $800 PC build, you definitely want an NVMe drive for your boot option. And not only that, if you're not putting any other drives in the build, then it needs to be of considerable size as well. So in order to actually install this, guys, dead straightforward. All you got to do is put it at an angle and slide it in. Dead easy, dead straightforward, and then you can actually just install this down. Now, there's a couple of things here, guys. Number one, because this motherboard isn't brand new, I don't actually have the M.2 screw here. But with that being said, on the back of this heat shield, we need to pull off this little protective film here. And then because this is being screwed down anyway, this will hold that on its standoff regardless. So we won't incur any problems or anything like that. So go ahead and put this back in, or back on. We'll line it up. There we go. I can already feel it's already gone down much better. Let's put our problem screw in first. Everyone's really quiet tonight. What's up with everybody? These don't need to be mega tight either, guys. Just go ahead. We don't need to put them down as tight as what Carl did. That's what she said. There we go. Cool. Right. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. We're already making a mess. Oh. Right. So we'll just change this over here. So what we've got then, guys, is we've got our CPU nicely installed, which is that i7 9700K. We've got our 16 gigs of 3200 megahertz RAM at C16 installed in our furthermost right hand slot. We miss a slot and then we populate the next one, and then we've got a 1 terabyte Gen 3 Sabrent drive on our uppermost NVMe slot or M.2 slot up here as well. So all in all, absolutely fantastic. No issues, no problems. In the space of 2 or 3 minutes, we're all good. So we'll move back to here. Right, what we're going to do now then, guys, is we're going to go ahead and we're going to install our motherboard into our case, and we'll have a quick look at this GAMEMAX case as well, because this again is brand spanking new. I took it out of the box and stuff like that, so I had less packaging and everything everywhere. So let's have a quick look at that before we install it. Hey Harvey, how you doing, buddy? I'm good, good, good. Gauzy, how you doing, buddy? Nice to see you again, pal. I thought you'd be here on a Sunday night. Good, good. Right, so guys, this GAMEMAX ATX case, or MIDI case if you like, really, really nice. And to be fair, it was £52.99, and for that, you get quite a lot. Now, for me, what really set it apart from anything else, you can't really see it at that angle, maybe a little bit like that. You can see me in the background, but you've got two 200mm RGB fans in the front here. Now, the thing about large fans is they have to rotate at a much lower RPM to get the same static pressure, which is good for noise, and number two, good for airflow. So this, even though it has got a glass front panel here, it does have quite a lot of air intake down the side. So whilst it's not going to be amazing, you're not going to suffer from it, which is good. Now, what it does also have is this nice blacked out glass side panel, which I really, really like. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and take off these. Oh, why did they do that? Tighten them so tight. We'll go ahead and take off this side panel here, and we'll just have a quick look inside. Yeah, everyone's going to be mega tight. Major, saying that, you don't want it to come off, do you? So, saying that, that'd be my look. They wouldn't be tight, and then I'd pull them off, and boom. Derek, how you doing, buddy? Thank you, Harvey. So, taking off this glass side panel. You can see in here, whilst it's not got a full length PSU shroud, I hate these cutouts, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. Who cares what bloody sticker you've got on the side of your PSU? Most people tend to rip that sticker off or board this gap up here anyway. So I'm not a fan of that. Normally, I would say it's got a full length shroud, which is a positive, because regardless of whichever PSU you've got, you can just hide it, no one's ever going to see it, which is quite good. But essentially, it's got some decent cutouts, so we're not going to really struggle with cable management. It comes with this 120mm RGB fan at the back, as well as these two 200s at the front. And to be fair, it's an all-round kind of budget, but okay case. And I'm quite satisfied for £50–55 what you get, and how this, all these components will actually fit in there. I'm quite okay with it, to be fair. So what we'll do is we'll just have a look at this other side and see what's on this side. Oh, God, does it not want to come off? No. There we go. Oh, that's quite good. So on this side, it comes with this a little RGB and fan, fan and RGB hub. So it looks like it can control up to 5 fans RGB, which is Aura Sync compatible. And then it can also do 5 PWM connections as well. Is it PWM? No, it's DC connections. So obviously 3 pins only, which not great, but then this can connect to your motherboard, and you can connect it to something like iQ or Aura Sync or something like that if you wish to do so. You can actually do a PWM in at the top, and you can put 2 light strips down here as well, which is pretty good. I do like that. But in terms of connectivity, what does this come with? Normal HD audio. We've got our USB 2 header. We've got our USB 3 header. And then in terms of front I/O, we've got reset switch, power LED positive and negative, and HD LED. So basic standard, really. Just liked. What are the specs for this build? i7 9700K, GTX1070, with a 240 all-in-one cooler, 16 gigs of DDR4 at C16-3200 on this MAXIMUS 5 Hero motherboard, mate. So pretty nice little build, to be fair. I think it's going to be quite nice. And guys, forgot to ask everyone, if you've not done already, just smash that like button for me. Let's see if we can get as many people in as we can. We did fantastically well, not last week, but the week before. We managed to get a lot of people in, and the channel benefited from it, so I would appreciate your support. So with that being said, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to turn this over. We're going to put in our motherboard. And in fact, before we do that, we're going to remove this rear 120mm fan. Just get it out the way. It'll be much easier that way. There we go. Thank you, Harvey. God, you can hear everything on this mic. How is everyone tonight? Anyway, everyone good? I know we were a little bit late. It's 9:45. I do apologise. That's why I'm kind of rushing through it. I just want to give everyone a look of what it's going to actually, well, look like at the end. There we go. That's our fan out. Cool. Right. So, first things first then, guys, if you've not got an IO shield which is pre-installed onto your motherboard, then do go ahead and install that now before you go ahead and put the motherboard in. But if you've got one like us which is pre-installed, then go ahead and drop that off into the case, onto the pre-installed standoffs. And we pray to the gods that this cheaper budget case has everything in line for us. Let's switch this angle up here. There we go. Right. Have we got everything aligned? No. There we go. Right. Close enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got one missing down here. Yeah, there's a few which are off here, and that's not because of the motherboard either. So we've got one off here, 2. We're gonna have to put those standoffs in if I've got them. Let's have a look to see if we've got them. Just been clearing some snow. It did go mental earlier, didn't it? We had it here as well, Ian. It went crazy. There again, everybody else goes crazy when there's a bit of snow as well, to be fair. So, did this case come with any other standoffs? We'll soon see. Oh, we've got one, which is good. So we need, I think I'm going to install it into this one up here. It's going to be much, in fact we've got 2, which is great. That's good news. Does that one need to be moved? That looks like, no, that one's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yep, 6, yep. Yeah, it's this one down here. It might be because that's being blocked. It might be. Has it snowed everywhere then, guys, or has it just been in certain places? I know the news saying that all the bloody masks have got to come back on tomorrow is a nightmare, isn't it? There we go. Standoff, 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 all in place. Fantastic. So we'll go ahead and we'll drop this back into position again. Right, there we go. Stay. Whew, Thank God for that. Let's have a look at these screws, because it looks like a mix and match of everything here. Oh God, what on earth have they done here? This is the bit that's important, guys. You don't want to put the wrong screws in here, because if you do, there's a chance of breaking certain components. They're all the same. That's different. That's the same. That's the same. That's the same. That looks like it's something different as well. Right, we'll go ahead and install these in. Snowing earlier in Yorkshire, but just cold. It bloody is cold today, mate. It's absolutely freezing. It's been cold all day, hasn't it? We'll change this angle so we can have a chat. Whilst we're just putting these ones in, guys, it's a little bit more, should we say, boring for you just watching me screw 9 screws in. Glad it's not a white build. Why glad it's not a white build? Is everybody doing white builds at the minute? I kind of like white builds, to be fair. Well, at least white and something. I think the RGB shows up really, really nice on white. It's a lot nicer on white builds than anything else. Right, last one. Jump up here. There we go. Nice. Cool. Right. Fantastic. We can move these out the way. We'll come back to these screws. No doubt we're going to need them shortly. Right then. So, now that we've got our motherboard nicely installed, this is where we are at the minute, guys. So hopefully, if you followed along, you'll have your motherboard along with all the installed components in that nicely secured in your case. So I think what we're going to do now is we're going to install our CPU cooler. I'm going to get that done now because primarily, number one, I want it in place so I know what's going on with regards to the cables, and number two, I know how much space we've got behind the back, and then I'm not messing around with this this bracket here and the rest of the mounting hardware as well. So let's go ahead, we'll get the fans installed on top of that. We can put this fan in the back of here, and then, to be fair, we're not a million miles away, so a kind of more, should we say, RGB build than last week's, but not terribly basically hard to do. So let's crack on. So what we're going to need to do, guys, is just take off these nuts here. We're going to need them to hold our CPU cooler to our CPU, and then we're going to push this through the back of the cutout through the motherboard. You should be able to see it come through in a second. There we go. Nicely in place, and we've got these 4 little brackets which are just here. Okay, so essentially what we're going to do now, guys, is we're going to open up those pirate eye fans and we're going to install them onto our cooler. Now this is basically just a dampener for the fans. You don't need to use this at all, and to be fair, I don't think the fans that we're going to be using will sit inside this. If they do, then we'll utilize it. If they don't, then we won't bother. 1, to pyrotize. So I don't know whether anyone's seen the review that we did on these pyrotie fans, but I really liked them. Some of the effects that you got off of them were absolutely fantastic, and to be fair, they look really nice. Now the only downside to using these fans are that they're actually white. Now I'm not going to be massively worried about it because it's going to give off quite a lot of RGB, and I think that a little bit of contrast along with this RAM that we've got in here, it'll look quite nice. But yeah, the only downside, I would have preferred black. Vinny, you're absolutely right. In more high-end builds, then yes, this cutout here could be reutilised for an LCD screen or an old mobile phone or something like that to give you your temperatures or your fan speeds or anything like that. Yeah, absolutely. I just don't know why they've done it on such a budget case. I know that, well, it's probably material saving and stuff like that, but yeah, for me, not a massive fan with regards to that, to be fair. So let's just check. Well, they might do actually. Yeah, they might do. Let's get one more out. We'll keep that out. We'll need them. We don't need that. And the good thing about these fans is they're very much like the Leon Lee fans. Their connectivity is absolutely brilliant. So essentially, these can actually go together just like the Leon Lee ones can. So let me just figure this one out. So which way is it? Should be this way. Yeah, there we go. So I really like the look of these, and to be fair, for what you pay for them, I think they are about $14.99 each. They're really nice. And this light that goes all the way round, obviously the Pirate Eye, it looks insanely nice. So right, let me just have a look at how we're going to install our cooler into our case so we don't mess around. We're going to have it this way. Ah, looks pretty ugly, doesn't it? This way. Yeah, it's going to go that way. We're going to have it that way. Right, so we're going to put these fans as an exhaust, guys. So we need to ensure that we are we're looking at this side of the fan, and the cage is against the actual radiator itself. So, shall we use that? I don't think we need to use it, to be fair, but let's see if we can. Then I'm not stuck with it. If we, perfect. We can use it. It's not an issue at all. So, installing these fans onto our radiator, guys, we need to utilize these larger screws, these ones here. Okay, so essentially we're going to go through the actual fan itself, and then we're going to install them into the radiator. Okay, don't make the mistake of utilizing these to hold this into your case at the top, because you'll go straight through the actual radiator, straight through the fin stack, and probably knacker your whole radiator as well. So that's what the small ones are for. Utilize them to attach it to your top of your case, and then the larger ones to actually attach your fans. Okay, so bear with me a second. We'll get these ones installed, and then we'll go ahead and we'll install this into the top of the case. And I've just realised I can't use this rubber thing here because it's not mega thick, but because these fans have got rubber on them already, and these screws are not specifically made for these fans, I'm going to probably struggle a little bit getting them into the radiator. Hopefully not, they'll just go straight on. But I can already feel that it's going to be close. Yeah, it's going to be very close. So let's get the outermost ones done first. We're all so quiet. Is it me? I'm boring you. I'm normally a talkaholic. I'm quite... Well, I'm angry tonight because we're late and things haven't gone quite to plan. So, apologies for that. Right, these don't need to be mega tight either, but we just need to ensure that they are down sufficiently. They should be fine now. There we go. Right, get rid of that. We need the one other. And then we're going to need that as well. So we'll bring that up. We're going to need these. Yeah, we'll just keep hold of them as well. Now, I'm hoping... Oh, we're fine. Whew, thank God. Right, so this will go on the end of here. Hopefully we can put it this way, actually. We can't, can we? 1 second. If it goes this side, I've made a balls up. It's very tight. We may have had to put that on before we actually installed the fans. I think it's going to be too tight to get on. Oh, it's not. Oh, we can. Oh, we've done it. Thank you. But then we've got the cable coming out the wrong side, so we might just put, in fact, we'll put it in this side. And we'll just turn the cables. That's fine. That's not a problem at all. At least we've got the cables coming out the right side then. That's the most important thing. Definitely not boring. I feel like like I said, when things start to go wrong, you definitely notice it. So just one thing to point out then, guys, you might have noticed I slapped this little connector on the end of the fan at the end there. I would have advised putting that on before because it was very tight getting it on. And not only that, if we'd have put it on previously, we would have orientated the radiator exactly the way that we wanted to install it into the actual case. But with that being said, what we're planning on doing is installing it into the case like that so you can see the logo and everything's going to be okay. Now, a couple of other things. Like I said, this is not brand spanking new. These aren't scratches, it's old CPU paste that I couldn't really get off. Now, I've used some isopropanol, but it's about 3 years old, this cooler is. So no issues or problems or anything like that, but obviously just be mindful that it would normally come with a protective cover there, so we just want to make sure that we're not dropping that on any metal, denting it or damaging it or anything like that. So we'll remove the filter on top of the case. And what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to go ahead and we are going to install this into the top of our case. Now, I'm hoping and praying that this RAM is not too high. If not, we're going to have a problem. So let's have a quick look at that. Because that was something that I didn't actually look at, to be fair. Please, please, please. Oh my God. Oh my God. Too tall. Too tall. Too tall. How much of a bummer is that? Let's see if I can just take the DIMMs of RAM out and then we'll see if we can put them in afterwards. I think we're going to be out of luck, to be fair, but let's just have a go. It may be all right once we actually get it installed. But I doubt it. I very much doubt it. That's going to be ridiculous. That's so unlucky. If I had low profiled RAM, that would have fit. That's so unlucky. Oh, this has got to go in anyway, hasn't it? So, oh dear. They always say, check everything before. Yeah, and even then, even if I install it there, guys, even if I install it there, the rad would mount in the front, Ian, yeah, but then we would lose the opportunity of utilising them two 200mm fans. That is a bummer. Let me change this and I'll show you. Well, I won't, because something else ain't working now. I don't know then. That's very frustrating. Very, very, very frustrating. And it's not to do with those fans either. It just will not go in. Let's try something else. Oh. These fans are quite thick. There's a mil or two on this. Don't know. Of all the fans, failing that, the only other thing I can do is put a stock Intel cooler on it, just to get it all booted up, and then put these two fans in the top without the radiator. That's an option, but it's not going to look very pretty because I've not got a CPU cooler for it. Oh dear, 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 dear. There's no way that's going in there. Yeah, we're quite a long way out there. We are 3mm, 4mm, so regardless of the RAM, it ain't gonna fit. So that's one thing to note here then, guys, is the fact that this case, whilst it's looks really, really nice in terms of radiator support at the top, if you've got a very, shall we say, thick fan or anything like that, you're going to struggle in terms of installation up here, because there's not much room at all. Not much room at all. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take these fans off. We're going to install these two fans up here, and we're just going to put a stock Intel cooler on it for this evening until I can go out and buy a Hyper 212 or should we say a Freezer 34 Esports or something like that, and then that will look nice on there. I think the Freezer E34 will look quite nice because you can get it with an RGB fan, and that will give sufficient cooling for this particular CPU as well. Well, there we go. There's nothing I can do about it, so that's come out quite nicely. We'll go ahead and we'll take these fans off. But it's just another example there of just ensuring that there is sufficient space for the hardware. Apologies. Ian, good question. Yes, I could do that. But we're not going to. I think it would be even worse than just having a stock Intel cooler. But good suggestion, mate. I didn't even think about it, because the fans are on the outer side of the case, in the void of the front panel. So yes, you are very correct. If you was no other way of doing it, then yeah, you could. Yeah, we've just hit a stumbling block, mate. We haven't got sufficient clearance for the installation of this all-in-one cooler to allow us to install it at the top of the case because of the VRMs and the height of the actual RAM sticks. So we will not be installing that today. So that's not a problem. We can move all them. We can keep all on them to one side. Bit of a bummer, but it's not the end of the world. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll install these fans regardless. I need a sip of beer. We're having too many stumbling blocks. How you doing, Kev, anyway, mate? You good? We'll push this through the back here anyway, and then we'll install it in the top. Dun, dun, dun. Great. Well, this is the things that you face. Royston Henderson, how you doing, matey? Right, so we want these ones as an exhaust, so we can put these ones in the top up here. I mean, there's plenty of room there. That's not a problem at all up here. And the good thing about this case is it does have one on the far most right side, and then you can push it all the way to the side of the case as well, but it doesn't help us at all. Doesn't help us at all. I'll have plenty of room there, but not for anything else. Just gutted. I really wanted that to work, but hey ho, hey ho. No worries, Roy. Nice to have you here, buddy. Nice to have you here. We've just hit our first stumbling block with regards to the cooler. But hey ho, what we'll do is we'll go ahead, we'll install these two fans at the top now, and then we should be all good. The joys of building PCs. I should have done a little due diligence beforehand, to be fair, but I thought, no, it's fine, everything will be good. No issues. I don't envisage any problems at all. I didn't even think about the clearances, to be quite honest with you. I just thought, yeah, no issue at all. No problems at all. But how much could I have been wrong? How wrong could I be? So just give me a second, guys. Just want to get these 8 screws in just to hold this in place. This is where my electric screwdriver is going to come in handy for Christmas. I can't wait for that. Has anyone else ordered any nice little tech goodies for Christmas? Or what bargains did you pick up on Black Friday? Anyone get any super deals? Get your Dremel out. Yeah. Don't tell me that, Ian. I'll have a field day. Two more to go. One more. Yeah, I just could not believe that will not fit. But maybe at this budget, like I said, that 240 from Cooler Master was not an issue or anything like that. It's just that it would have been nice to utilise it because it would have provided decent performance for this, you see. So, little gutted, but hey ho, nothing else we can do there. We move on, we move on. So all we've done there, guys, is we've just passed through the connector for the fans. That one connector there will do both of those top two fans there. We will have another one of these for this rear fan that we're going to install now. And as you can see, we'll take that off. As you can see there, we've got our two fans installed. We don't have any clearance issues now. It's just ultra frustration when you know that you wanted to achieve a certain look and you're just not going to be able to do it. So we'll put the RAM back in. There we go. So let's turn that around a little bit. We're going to have the same fan back here as well. Yay, Proudy's in the house. Nice to see you, buddy. So yeah, we'll get this back fan in here, and then we'll have to chuck on an Intel stock cooler because I'm going to cry and my 240 all-in-one does not fit. So if you are planning, guys, on putting one up here, it needs to be a mega thin rad, because there ain't much clearance there. Now, the only thing I was going to say is this ML Corsair fan does seem to be around 2.5 mil thinner than what these ones did here. And if I thought that that was going to work as well, I have got 3 of these fans, and I have got a Corsair lighting node that we could have utilised for these fans. But I still didn't think it was going to fit. So, hey ho, we move on. We'll have a sip of beer and we'll move on. Kevlar, Black Friday deals. I stocked up on RAM for a budget build. eBay had quite a few 16 gig kits, 32 megahertz packs for 46 to 48 quid. Saw them. I actually saw them as well. One of my friends bought one, I think, for 46 quid. Black LPX 16 gig kit at 3200 as well, and a white version as well. So yeah, good deal. I got my Fractal Design Lumen S28 RGB, which is the 280 version, and it just perfectly fits into my Corsair 4000D. Absolutely. Most AIOs at 280 will fit into that case. Have you got it top mounted? Internal temp high. Allow Hello? Hello? Are we working? Oh, we might be back. We might be back. Yeah, we might be back. Oh, thank God for that. He's back, Pog. Yeah. Ah, thank God for that. Right, without further ado, before anything else goes wrong, let's get this back fanning. I don't know what's going on with the electricity tonight, guys, around where I actually live, but that's now the third power cut that we've had in the last 2 hours. So, an absolute nightmare. So what we'll do, guys, is we'll get this installed as an exhaust fan in the rear of the case here. Before we do that, we want to ensure that we install our connector on here loud and clear. Cheers, Vinny. Thank you. Absolute nightmare. The Prince of Darkness. Right, let's get this one installed then. So we're going to install it in the rear here. We'll push it through the same holes at the back up here. The Prince of Darkness. Why did you say bad temperatures occur if I install my AIO on the top of the Corsair 4000D? I didn't. That's the way I installed the last 3 that I've installed at the top. Stay. I always prefer 100% installing all-in-ones. Oh God, all-in-ones at the top. 100% at the top of any case, rather than at the front or at the side. Always. Why did you say that? Put 50p in the meter. I wish I was on a meter. It'd be cheaper. Yeah, no, Proudy. Honestly, mate, I would always, if you can, install it at the top of the case, mate. 99% of the time, it makes much better sense to do that. Now, a lot of people will say, well, why put it at the top of your case when that's going to be exhausting heat from your GPU? But 99 out of 100 times, well, 90 out of 100 times, it's not going to make much difference at all, to be quite honest with you. You speak to anyone in terms of thermodynamics and stuff like that, even warmer air is better than no air. Yeah. Okay, I misunderstood you. Sorry. No worries, man. It's all good. Not a problem. We'll just undo this and we'll put them in the middle. Slide this up slightly. There we go. And then we'll fasten it down. Well, I wonder what else can go wrong tonight. Well, don't say that. I'll end up turning it on and it won't post. I do not know how fans have to face exactly. Basically, all of my fans are facing with the front inside the case and the back, of course, to the outside. Okay? So basically like this. They're all set to exhaust then. So you've got negative pressure. Where does the... Unless it's on the front of your case, obviously, it's an intake. Oh God, look how ugly this thing is. Ugh. Yuck. Fabunan, welcome to the stream. It's just going to have to get us by, this cooler is, until we can get one of the Freezer eSport 34s just behind me. It's an empty box. We used it in a previous build, so not too bad. Raymond, how you doing, my friend? How you doing? been better, mate. We've had 3 power cuts. My all-in-one cooler does not fit in the top of this case. So, yeah, been better, mate. Hi, my PC is 850 and my specs are a Ryzen 5 5600G and an EVGA 1660 Super. Trips, nice build, mate. Fantastic little 1080p machine. Proud it, yeah, front of the case is intake for me and everything else is set to exhaust. Yeah, perfect, mate. 3 intake and then you should have your 2 on the top, 1 on the rear. No worries, absolutely fine. Exactly what I did in my my last couple as well, with a 240 all-in-one cooler. So what we'll do then, guys, is we'll go ahead and we will install our SHITTY cooler. But no, Trips, nice little build, mate. And the beauty about it is with that 5600G, if your 1660 craps out on you, you've also got that integrated APU as well, which is always a bonus. So what we'll do then, guys, is we'll go ahead and we will install. I think I've just seen that. Yeah, it will do. That'll come off there anyway. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and install our CPU cooler. We just need to get some thermal paste. Good old Arctic MX4. Let's change this camera. There we go. Right. We'll just put a bit of paste in the middle here. There we go. Cool. And then what we can do, guys, is I bloody hate these CPU coolers. They're absolutely rubbish, but there's nothing we can do about it. Just line it up, guys, with regards to the mounting holes. Ensure we'll put this in afterwards. And then all you've got to do is just push down. I like to do one side, one the other side, and then vice versa. Just do it all the way round. There you go. Turn it round. There we go. Get in. Cool. Right. So, CPU fan header. We need to install that. That is just up the top here. I'll see if I can get it better close. We've got AIO pump, then we've got our optional header, and then we've got our CPU fan header up there. So all we've got to do is just slide that on there. It says him with the big fat fingers. And then we can do our very best to remove these RGB cables. We'll hide them afterwards. I'm not too fussed about them ones at all. What else can go wrong today, hey? So let's get this stood up. We'll put our controller back on for our fan. That's cool. And then what we need to do is think about our power supply and running our front panel connectors through to the relevant connections on our motherboard as well. So Leo, interesting build coming up. All personal preference, mate. Thank you for the feedback, Leo. Much appreciated. Hey, Tupac. Are you still in Florida? I got all my parts last Friday. Black Friday deals. Absolutely trips. Fantastic offers which are on, mate. Especially on some Ryzen CPUs as well. I expected them to be a little bit better though, to be fair. But we always want more, don't we? It kept saying my system doesn't meet requirements, but I followed a guide on YouTube. Yeah, Proudy, none of them have 2 fans at the bottom, mate. You don't need it. It's have you got the X or the D? If you got the X, then maybe. I've not done it before, but to be quite frank with you, the D, yeah, you definitely don't need anything at all with that. It's really good airflow. Right, what we're going to do then, guys, is just shove through our HD audio. and I'm going to attach that just at the bottom left hand corner. It's always the same, guys. Just make sure the text is facing upwards, and then we can slide that on. Our USB 3 is down at the bottom just here. Again, we just have to ensure that that is notched down, and then that will slide nicely into position. Again, with that, just take your time, because I've seen so many people bend so many pins while putting that one on. It's not funny. We've got a USB 2, which is here, and this one needs to go onto our USB 2 header, which is just down at the bottom here also. We've got a pin on the right hand side, so that one can slide in there. And then we've got our front panel connectors, which can also go down through this hole down here. Right, we'll do that one in a second, but essentially we'll tidy all that up in a minute. We're going to use this, we'll probably run that through there and connect it to that as well. So everything else looks all right, not a problem. We're going to be using this little fan hub here via SAHARA Gaming for these two connections here, and also then connect that to our motherboard so that we can control it all by the motherboard software as well. But essentially you do get an IR remote that you can control the RGB with, so it's not a problem. And there's also an RGB button on the top of the case if you wish to change it as well. Watched a few Corsair 4000 builds, blah, 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 trips. I got my motherboard for 70 quid when it was 175, such a good discount. Bloody hell, that's an amazing discount. Got the 4000D, but not the airflow version. What? 4000D is the airflow version. Trips, yeah, that's crazy, £105 off. Amazing value, absolutely. How did you get the 1070 GPU? So basically there was a young lady that was building a computer. This case, that power supply, this CPU, well no, this CPU and this GPU, and she just basically weren't happy with regards to the performance that it was going to give out. Her friend, or partner shall I say, had just built a total new system using brand new spanking parts. She'd played that, fell in love with it, and wanted the latest and greatest. So she went Intel 11th gen and essentially a 3060 Ti. Obviously not as much in terms of value when you look at these, but talking about value, guys, the ridiculous parts are just insane at the minute. And now I did get a good deal on this. I paid, I think it was 180, yeah, 180 for this, and then I paid 160 or 180 for the CPU as well. So there's 360 for the CPU and the graphics card alone. Obviously then we've got a new PSU, we've got a new case, we've got new M.2 drive, new RAM, so it does start adding up, doesn't it? No, there's a case called 4000D and a case called oh, the Airflow, okay, and you just got the D, the black version, okay. Royston, where are you based in the UK? Smack bang in the middle, my friend, just in between Nottingham and Lincoln. Proud of it. 180 quid for a GTX 1070. I can only dream of this. You've just got, mate, the easiest thing. Get it yourself on Gumtree. Get yourself on Facebook Marketplace. Do not buy anything that you cannot go and pick up yourself and inspect, and look for deals. I mean, don't get me wrong, she wanted 250 quid. I ended up paying 180, so I got 70 quid off it. But yeah, I ended up going, picking it up, testing it while I was there just to ensure that it worked. All good. But anyway, we're digressing. So essentially, guys, all we've done is I've just quickly connected on there. We have got our USB 3 down the bottom here. We've got our USB 2, which we can tidy up a little bit later on. We've just got to put our reset button, power button and stuff which is just going to be connected down here. We've got our HD audio, which is there. We've got our CPU cooler, which is there, and then we've got obviously our fans. So what we're going to do next is I just want to get this controller installed into the back. And then once we've got the controller installed, I want to connect these 3 fans. We'll chuck in the power supply, and then essentially the graphics card, and we are done. When did you purchase the GTX1070? 10 days ago. 10 days ago. Wow, 180 amazing at the moment. They're 275 plus on eBay now, lol. I got one for 225 in September. Thought that was good. Yeah, 225's not too bad. I think 225's all right, Kev. I think 180 is a little bit cheap. I always say that if I can get them for less than 200, I'm in a ballpark of a 6-core 1070, somewhere around 600, 650 quid build, something like that. Obviously, that one down there that we built last week with the 1060 and the 9600, that one's now gone, sold. So that one's basically, someone's collecting that one tomorrow. But I did reduce the price on it a little bit. I just wanted it gone, so I reduced it down to 550 quid from 600. It sold straight away. And again, this one will sell for 650, £100 more than that one, but it's got more RGB. And by the time I've put a Freezer 34 cooler on it to make it look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, and a GTX 1070, it's definitely worth that extra money. Royston, if I drove my PC down to you, could you change my rear fan to an RGB one to match some others in my system? Come on, buddy, you can do that. You can do that, surely. It's 4 screws. Unscrew it, put your new one in, attach your fan PWM header and whatever RGB connection you've got, and you're all good, my friend. I haven't got any GPU yet, but my GPU is reserved and it's getting delivered. So what should I do? And I can't go all the way to Newcastle to get it because it's so far from me. You're in Coventry. Trips, you in Coventry, buddy? I work in Leicester every day at Foss Park. So not too far away from you. Got old CV. No, I can't. Of course you can. You can do anything. If you want to bring it, mate, no problem at all. Raymond's in chat. We built his whole system for him. He was sat here all day, bless him, in the other room. I kept bothering him. I'm quickly just going to attach these power reset buttons and stuff like that, guys, while you're chatting amongst yourselves. So we have got power switch is there, positives that side. So here we go. So power button is on the top. Reset button is on the bottom. This one here. We just want to check that orientation. So reset, negative, positive. So we'll turn that one round. There we go. Reset is on, power switch is on. These are bloody fiddly. So fiddly. And again, guys, do you know, if you can't figure out where to install these, just check your motherboard manual. It is fairly straightforward. You just need to make sure that these are on the right headers, because if not, you go ahead and press that power button and nothing will work. We've just got the positive and negative to put on now. I tend to like to put these on together, but you're doing me head in. We've got the positive on this side and negative on that side, so that's all good. Put them ones on. There we go. That's all those ones done. So that's these ones down here, guys. All nicely installed, all sorted now, so all good. So all our front I/O is now sorted. Ray, and it looks amazing. Good, man, I appreciate it. It's all controlled by Corsair units in the rear of the case. Yeah, man, that's it. That's sound. That's just unplug the one that you don't want, and then put in the new one. And it's just, if you've got a lighting node or you've got a Commander Pro, just unclip your PWM, unclip your RGB, and replace it with your new fan. But again, if you want to drive all the way here for me to do that, I'll happily do it for you, not a problem. It just seems like it's a long, long way for you to come just to change a fan. No worries, trips. Right, let's have a quick look at this controller box. What have we got in here? Dun, dun, dun. Right. So essentially, guys, for this commander control box, shall we say, we've got the ability to control up to 10 fans. And then you can hook it up to your reset switch, and there is a data sync switch here as well. It's powered via SATA power as well. So essentially all we're going to do is we're going to put fan 1 in here, fan 2 in here, because the top ones are going to be 1, the back one's going to be number 2, and then we're going to power it by SATA. And then all we're going to do is we're going to hook up, we're probably going to hook it up essentially to a PWM header on our motherboard, so we can control that, and then to 5-volt out on our motherboard as well, and that just goes into data on the back of our controller here. There we go. And then these are your connections here. There is a 3-pin for VDG, which is gigabytes. Yeah, gigabytes RGB software. Then you've got a PWM header, and then a 5-volt header there, which we can obviously connect to if we want to do that. So all in all, we've got a bit of a sticky tape or Velcro, which is here to keep that in place on the back there, which is good. We'll get rid of them. Keep the IR remote just in case. You never know. Looking at this Intel boxed cooler is torture for my eyes. After I install my AIO. Roy, yeah, got them, but I can't get to them. All right, okay, you can't get to them. Okay, you're more than welcome, my buddy. Email address is on the community tab on the page. My email address, you can find it there, not a problem at all. Message me and I'll happily help you out, my friend. No worries at all. I asked the company to match the rear fan to the others in the build, and they forgot, and they want my PC for 3 days to change. Trust me, it's not as simple as you may think in my PC. Okay. Just send me a... Mate, I could probably tell you how to do it if we just did a Discord call or a WhatsApp call. Save you a drive. I'm more than happy to do that for you as well. No problem at all. Right, let's just stick this down on here. So we're just putting some Velcro on the back of there. We need to find a place on the back of the case which is going to be sufficient to stick this down as well. And I think if it will, yeah, we'll stick it on one of the hard drive or the SSD trays. Will it go there? Yeah. I'm being cheeky and see if we can just slot it in here. This way or this way? We'll do it this way. Yuck. That's horrible. Absolutely horrible. I tell you what, you won't want that holding your life together. It is absolute ridiculously shit. So we'll take this off because that's no good to anybody. Slide that out. We'll stick this back on without that there. And we'll see if that works any better. Still not great, but it's better than nothing. Better than having the tray there and it being lopsided. So again, we're going to need the SATA power for that, guys. And again, we can attach this to our 5-volt header and our PWM header on our motherboard, which will allow us to control the fan speed on them. We don't necessarily need to, because on the IR remote you can control the fan speed as well. It all depends on whether you want these lights here to sync up with these lights here. For me, I think it's going to be better to do that. So all we're going to do is connect those to our internals on our motherboard and we should be all good. Right, what's going on here? So, I'm not sure if you answered my question. I had to go AFK, but I live in Leicester, near Foss Park, near the roundabout. Well, you live literally across the road from where I work then, Trips. Literally just across the road. So I work just in between Meridian Business Park and Foss Park. So not too far at all. Yeah, Roy, not a problem at all, my friend. Just drop us an email, buddy, and then we can exchange some numbers and stuff like that. And if I can help you via WhatsApp or something, I'll do that to help you, no problem at all. Yesterday I purchased a Corsair Vengeance RGB kit. I was thinking of RGB stripe as well from Corsair. Can you recommend me any strip you tested already? Well, their lighting pro kit, to be honest, Proudy, it's absolutely fine. Works with the Node cores or Commander Pros. Just directly plug it in. They have 3 connectors, 4 strips, magnetic, as well as 3M tape. You can buy the 2-pack or you can buy the 4-pack, if depending on whether you want to go all the way around your case. So yeah, I mean, it all depends on what you want to spend. Personally, I think that if you've got RGB lights in your case already, unless it's a really dark build, that should be sufficient. But if it's not to your liking, each to their own. If you want to buy additional strips, then no problem. Right, let me just get these ones plugged all the way through and then we'll see where the headers are. So we're looking for our 5-volt headers, 12-volt, which is up there. We have our pump, which is there. We've got another 12-volt there. We've got a 5-volt, which is right at the bottom. So we've only got one 5-volt header on this motherboard. We've got 2 12-volts, but only one 5-volt. So it's got to go right down the bottom, which is not too bad because it's already here. So we can shove that onto here. That's good. The only downside to it is the PWM splitter is literally nowhere in sight, so we won't be connecting that. We'll have to use the actual IR remote to control that fan speed, because if I was to split that cable as far as I need to, it'll probably break, to be quite honest with you. The main thing is, though, we've got the 5-volt header attached, which is the main problem. So what we're going to do then, guys, is we're just going to run these into our controller, which is here. We're going to have to think about, is this one going to reach? Guys, the audio is going to be shite, but I've got my camera plugged into a battery pack. The other camera's not, so as soon as the electric comes back on again, I'll get the other camera back on. Let me just turn this one back up so you can probably hear me a little bit better, but the audio will be nowhere near as good, so you'll just have to apologise, or I'll just have to apologise for that, guys. It's going to sound terrible, the echo, but I am here. It's just that this camera is plugged into a battery pack as well as the computer, because the electricity keeps going out, whereas the other camera isn't. I've only got so many outs on it, so apologies. There's nothing I can do, guys. I do apologise. Absolutely nothing I can do. Leo, welcome back. It's been happening to me all night, mate. Electricity is absolutely... I think the audio is good. It's not, mate. It sounds absolutely horrendous. It's running directly off my camera, which is right above me. So I do apologise. Whereas my lav mic is hooked up to my other camera, which has not got any power to it. So nothing I can do. Tiger Master. By the way, it went black when I asked that question. Do you have a GPU for 180 that good? Because you don't live that far from me, I think. Not at the minute, Trips, but if you want me to keep an eye out for you, I'm more than happy to. And again, if you want to send me your details, mate, bang them through on Discord. As soon as I get anything, I'll hook you up. You can have it for the same cost as what I got it for, no problem. Right, let me crack on before any more electricity keeps going poorly. So you'll just have to bear with me, guys, with regards to this camera for a second. It's an absolute nightmare. That's power cut number 4 in, what are we on, 22:55 in the space of 3 hours. 4 power cuts in 3 hours. It's an absolute joke. But more reason for Cyber Monday tomorrow to go out and buy a bigger generator. Yeah, Trips, just drop me an email, mate, with your details, because obviously I can't keep track of chat, do this. I'm a bloke. But you're more than welcome, mate. Drop me an email and I will reach out to you, not a problem at all. While you're at it, go onto the community tab and submit your setups, guys. Join Discord. Submit your setups so we can get you included in the up and coming video at the end of December for the viewers' setups. We're going to be nice. We're not going to be as, should we say, dickery as Tech Source, where he moans about a cable here, there and everywhere. I want to be real, but I want to I'm interested in what your guys your setups look like. So submit some photos. It's all good. Right, let me have a quick sip of beer. Right, let's get this power supply in. So, again, brand new power supply, guys. CV550 Corsair. So it's semi-modular. Is it semi-modular? Yes, it should be semi-modular power supply. Bronze rated, 80 plus bronze. Corsair, so you know what you're getting. I always like Seasonic and Corsair power supplies, especially for the fact that you get a decent guarantee with them. And in all the years, well, in fact in the last 15 years, I've only ever had one Corsair power supply go bang on me, and the minute it did, it got RMA'd. It was replaced within 3 days. So I really like the service from Corsair. I like their products, and I've got no problems recommending them. So it is a non-modular, but it's all good. It's all good. We've got plenty of space in the bottom of this case here to get this installed. Right. But that's what my aim is, guys. Yeah, my aim is to create a community where we can all help each other, share good deals, share best practice, help each other out. Not bit and bob about who's got the best setup, who's got this, who's got more money there, and blah blah blah. So that's what it's all about. That's why I want to get this Discord running, up and going, and everybody involved. So, right then, guys. This particular case has got a perforation at the bottom, or a fan or a filter at the bottom. So what we need to ensure when we're actually installing our fan or our PSU, we put the fan facing downwards into the bottom of the case. Okay. Now, is this one? Yeah, we can slide this one in directly into the side, and then we should be able to just install that with the 4 screws that it came with. And we'll get those ones in now. Saying that, I've just chucked the screws back in here. There we go. Vinny, swear by Corsair, 11 years old. Exactly, my friend. Don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Seasonic as well. Their GX power supplies are absolutely fantastic. I've been running one now for the last 3 years in this build here. 3090, a 5950X. Never missed a beat. Absolutely never missed a beat. Fantastic rails in the power supply. Never had any issues with regards to these power cuts or anything like that. So you have to swear by what you've got experience with, and I've never been let down by either two of them. EVGA, another good company as well. And I always say that if you're building a £500–600 plus computer, you want to be making sure that you're spending a minimum of 10% on the power supply, which is around 60 quid. KFR Bandit or Brand, nice to see you, buddy. Welcome to the stream, my friends. Oh, I think that's asking me to show that. There you go, I'll press show. There you go. I'll allow it. I'll allow that one as well. I think it's because it stops links in the chat, guys. And yeah, because we've only been here a couple of times, we haven't got super chat set up. We've not got any of the animations set up on stream or anything like that. When we used to do the Twitch streams and stuff, it's massively animated, and you get all this kind of stuff coming up. I think I've still got it on here actually. 1 second. What does some of these do? In fact, don't mess about, or something will happen and something will go wrong. Trip sent the email. No worries, my friend. I'll look at that when we've finished stream, and I'll reach out to you. Not a problem. But yeah, Vin, I don't think you can go wrong with Corsair or Seasonic, to be honest. I think you get what you pay for. Right then, guys, what we're going to do then is we're just going to install these 4 screws in our power supply. So just line it up with the holes, and then screw the 4 screws in that came with it. There's number 1. Number 2. You're more than welcome, Trips. Not a problem at all, mate. Especially if I'm close by. I travel to work every single day, so if I can pop in, say hello, or I can help in any way, then that's the whole reason why I do this. So not a problem. Right, that's our power supply nicely installed. So what we've got here then, guys, is we've got a whole mixture of every cable that we don't need and we do need. Why are they still installing these things, these bloody Molex connections? We're in 2021. It drives me insane. Right, we don't need anything Molex, so we can go ahead and push that straight away into the bottom of the case, out the way. Right then, guys, so we've got our 24 pin, which is here. We've got a SATA power cable which we're going to need. How many? We've got 3. We're going to need one for this, one for this. So we need that. We don't need this one here. We've got our GPU and CPU power cable. So we can push the rest of these back into the bottom of this case. And what we'll do, guys, is after the stream, before this gets sold or anything like that, I will tidy it all up, not a problem. So this is our PCIe supplemental power cable for our GPU. We've got our SATA data cable, which is there. We've got our CPU power cable, which wants pushing through up top, up here, up top. We need that to go all the way through there. Are we going to have issues because I've not no room? Oh, guys, I got it in. I found the hole. That's cool, that's in there. Then we've got our 24 pin, which we need to push through here, and we'll get that in as well. So that can go through there. And then we've got our GPU, we'll have a look at that one in a second, and then our power cable there. So, right. In fact, let's see if I can just turn this like this. There we go. Right. So we've got our 24 pin, which is here, guys. So all we're going to do is just going to hook up our 24 pin. The cable's a little tight. There we go. That's our 24 pin hooked up. We've got our CPU, which I need to push through up there. Let's get that one. I'll tell you what. Having fat fingers does not help you in any circumstance. Name me an example where it helps. This is why you don't want to be doing this now. You could have done with doing this before we actually put that fan in. Let's see if we can get it through. There we go. I swear we had the same issue last week. And you say you never learn, you see. Right, so we need to go ahead and install our 24 pin, our CPU 8 pin up here. Right, there we go. Have a bit of luck here and we can get this on. But what I would advise, guys, is if you have got not much room like me here, plug this 8-pin connector in before you install these top 2 fans up here, and that way you won't be struggling. But essentially we've managed to get that through now, so it's not too bad. And then we can just pull through the excess and tidy it up. There we go, just like that. Right, what can I do with these cables here? Not a lot by the looks of it. But I will, before we post the short video, I will make sure that this cooler is changed out for one of those Arctic 34s, because it will look a damn sight nicer and much better than what it was looking at the minute. Let's see, I think the electric's come back on. Bear with me. Oh, I think it has. I think it has. Are we good? Can you hear me? I don't know whether that is any better or worse. That's better. That is better. Audio should be back, guys. Tell me, does it sound better like that? Good job you don't have an egg in the bun. Right, we should be back. Hey, there we go, look, we're back. No, the audio must sound better than what it did before, surely. Good. Right, so essentially then, guys, all we've got now is to hook up our SATA power at the back, okay? So, and then our GPU cables. So with this one here, we need to push, well, we need to push it through this one up here so we can get it through to our GPU when it's installed. Don't you just love cables? There we go. Right, that one's nicely through. Sound. Right, all of these we don't want or don't need. Right, so we do need our SATA power, and that's going to power our fan hub, which is just here. So that can be number one, which is there. Then we have got, well, this is going directly, it's non-powered, this is as well. So that's not a problem. What else have we got? We've got nothing else SATA. We've got no SSDs. Oh, 1, 2, 3 fans there. This, where's this being powered by? There must be need power for that, surely. 1, 2 fans for RGB, 2 fans for there. This is going to our reset switch to change the RGB. SATA power. Ah, there you go. I was wondering, why on earth? I was thinking, what? We don't need to power it. That's insane. So all we're doing here then, guys, is we're just providing power to this fan hub at the back. So fan needed power for SATA there. This hub needs SATA power also, which is there. And then all the rest of these cables, guys, can just be shoved into the back, and we can tidy all these up at a later stage. I'm not bothered about any of them at all. So essentially what we need to do now is we just need to chuck in our graphics card. Kevlar, yep, now better. Yeah, good. I thought the audio, it would have been crap before the audio, mate. It would have been absolutely rubbish. I've noticed it quite a few times, but hey ho. Right, what we're going to do then, guys, is we're just going to shove in our graphics card. Let me just tidy this couple of cables up here. Right, there we go. That one's much better. That's nicer. That one's nicer, which is good. All of them are hooked up. So all we've got to do then, guys, is open up our PCI Express lane, our graphics card, line it up, firm push, and then we're all installed. What we need to do is install 2 of our thumb screws, number 1 and number 2, which are there. We need to put this back in place as well. I hate cables, that's why I'll bring my PC to you. Guys, if you've not seen the video where I change, oh, what's it called? A TD500 Cooler Master TD500 to a Leon Lee XL case, go and look at that video. You think there's a few fans here. I was petrified of that build because he had Cooler Master fans, and I've never seen so many cables. I've never ever seen as many cables as what I saw in that build. It actually gave me brain ache figuring out how I was going to connect everything up. But we managed to do it. Every single light worked, and it was a nightmare, but we did it. And it was really, really good video, that was. I think it's doing quite well now. It's up to about 3,000 views or something like that. But yeah, it's a really, really good video. Really good video. Right, so this we need to... Do we need to put this in first? I don't even want to put that in. It looks absolutely shocking. Looks rubbish. I'll tell you what, I don't want to put that back in. We're not putting that back in. Looks crap. Royston, that's my case. Yeah, well, I'm telling you now, it was an absolute nightmare, but it looked beautiful after we'd done. We changed from that TD500. I think it's called a TV. Is it called a TD500? I think so. I think it is. Cooler Master TD500 or MX500. I can't remember. Trips. Anyone in chat now know what should I do? My case never came with hard drive cage. I'm not sure what I can do. You should be able to pick up an hard drive cage, mate, off of eBay for next to nothing. But if it didn't come with one, I would be contacting them asking why. Right. All done? Yeah, TD500 Proudy. I love the case. It's really, really nice. It was a really, really nice case. I actually asked the guy why did he want to change the case from that TD500 to the Leon Lee, and it was purely because of all the extra fans and everything that he wanted. When he came to me, he was like, yeah, I've got 6 fans. I want to put it in a Leon Lee. I went, right, okay, no problem at all. And then he said, yeah, but I bought another 4 fans. I'm thinking, oh my God, the amount of splitter cables there was in there, I've never seen anything like it. On top of that, Leon Lee strimmer cables, 24 pin plus the 2 8-pin one as well. It was nuts. Go and have a look at it. It was mental. I dare not mess with it. Yeah, and Roy, if you don't want to touch it, mate, because it costs you a lot of money, pal, don't touch it, because if you end up breaking something, it might mean that your computer's out of commission for you. You won't be able to use it and all that kind of stuff. So if you don't feel confident, buddy, don't touch it. It's not a problem at all. Right, so I think we're at a stage, guys. There's an SSD tray. There's obviously this little bracket on the back of here, which I don't really like either. So we're at a stage where we can just turn this on and let's see if it posts, yeah? We've got a rather big mess behind me on the floor, but hey-ho. Right, let's turn this off. Let's plug this in. Let's... Dun, dun, dun. Right. Everybody ready? Please. Power. We need to see some RGB. I see RGB. So normally the RGB on the RAM comes on as well. But the good thing is this beautiful MAXIMUS 5 board has got some really nice RGB effects. Now, obviously I know I'm not doing it very much justice with regards to these this Intel CPU here, but there's nothing I can do it at the minute. Leo, the moment of truth. Mr. Hydrated, welcome back, my friend. Just got my 4000X case. Boom! Nice, my friends. Enjoy it. It's an absolutely phenomenal case. I prefer it over the 5000. I think they went a little bit OTT. gets you to spend more money on their fans, especially if you want to take that back panel out. If you're not done already, look at that new 5000 build that I did. Turned out really, really nice. Absolutely insane for Ray. He likes big cases, Ray does, and he had a lot of high-end hardware in there as well. So it looked absolutely fantastic. But yeah, go and have a look at his build. Absolutely beautiful. Right, let's see if I've wired up this power button right. Good. Well, that's good. What's not good is, oh, the RGB's on there. That's working. That's working. These top two fans are not working. Okay, so we've got a slight issue there. We've got a reboot, which it always does. The front two fans are working. Let's see. Ooh, they do. They all work and change, which is good. We'll turn it around in a second. I really like them front two fans. I really, really do like them front two fans. And I'll tell you what, guys, yeah, there's a lot of air coming through there. A real lot of air that's coming through there. Yeah, I like them. You can dim them to however bright you want them. I think it's pretty good. Depends on what lighting effects you want and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's pretty nice. Now we have got one slight issue. We've got these top two fans that are not running at this moment in time, which I'm not 100%. I don't understand why, because they're both plugged in. We've got no errors on the debug or anything like that. It's on A2, which is absolutely fine. It's green in terms of memlock and stuff like that, so no problems there at all either. So not 100% sure why these top two fans are not working. So I think what I'm going to do is, once we've turned the stream off, I'm just going to take these two fans out here, switch the connector from this side to this side, and just try that. Never known that an issue before, and I didn't have it an issue when I was doing the testing previously, but I'll just take this connector off, which is just here, and put it on the other side just in case. But other than that, guys, quite like these KLEVV RGB RAM sticks. They're pretty nice as well. I've never bought them before ever. I'm normally a stickler for, again, Corsair or G-Skill RAM. Bit of a snob when it comes down to RAM. I stick with what I know. But in terms of effects, these look really pretty. I'm just looking up at my G-Skills now, and these were about a third of the cost of what they are. And they look really nice. Decent timings, 3200 C16 for 57, 58 quid. I don't think you can go wrong. So everything else is fine. GPU's idle, so it's not spinning at the minute, but CPU's fans spinning, front two fans are spinning, back fans spinning, all RGB working except for these two fans at the top, which we'll go ahead and we'll diagnose very, very shortly. So, Mr. Hydrated, just wondering if my next NZXT Kraken Z53 will clear my Vengeance Pro RGB RAM on my 4000X case. Yes, it will. My 4000X had Vengeance Pro white RAM, and we never had no problems with that 280 cooler. But even though that was Corsair H115, I think. Yeah, H115. But that went in no problems at all, mate. But there we go, guys. All in all, posted. We know that. Disappointed that these top two fans aren't aren't working at this moment in time. There's either, I'm sure it's just this connection here, and it needs going on the other side. First time I've actually installed these SAHARA gaming fans, but I can tell you that it's kicking out rather a lot of air, which is pretty good. We can control it via this little IR remote, which is pretty good as well. So RGB on the motherboard looks really, really nice. And yeah, I think I'm quite happy with it, to be honest. So what I'll do is I will sort out these top two fans. I'll sync it all together. We'll get Windows installed on it and stuff like that. And then what I'll do, guys, is I'll post a video on Friday with a shortened version of the build process. And then I'll have some glam shots at the end of it with it all synced up, all looking nice, everything working and stuff like that. So that you guys can see everything as it should be. But yeah, it'd just be nice to have these fans all synced up with these fans along with the RGB, and we'll get this cooler changed and the motherboard, it'll all go nicely. And yeah, we should be able to control it all via our motherboard software once we download ASUS Aura and we get them synced up to those 5-volt headers. What size fans are on the front there? They are 200s, Mr. Hydrated. They are 200s, mate. Really, really nice as well. Really, really nice. Very, very quiet. A lot of airflow for the RPMs, and that's primarily one of the reasons why you get big fans on the front. You would think that they would be suffocated because of this glass panel, but because of the you can see here, it's good camera angle actually, quite a lot of air can get in down the sides here. Now obviously not as much as if this was perforated or if it was vented at the front, but there is still a lot of air that's coming through, especially with 400 mils worth of fans. Pretty nice. Ian, thank you, my friend. So guys, that's it really. I just want to, do you know what? You've been absolute stars. There's 13, 15, 20 people that's been in stream all this time. We've had nothing but a bloody nightmare, guys. Yeah. The AIO didn't fit. 4 power cuts. It's been an absolute nightmare, and all of you have stuck with me. So it just shows me that it's worthwhile doing, and it doesn't matter whether it's to 3 people, whether it's to 3,000 people. It's the ones that keep coming back, that show the support, that leave them thumbs up, that continually share, subscribe and like and everything else that make it all worthwhile. So massive appreciation to everybody that's in here, and I just want to say a big, big thank you. What I will say to each of you is I've just recorded a video yesterday for a company that sent me these floodlights out. So these are 10 watt Wi-Fi enabled floodlights. Would anybody like these for free? I'll give them to you. So what I'm trying to do here, guys, is anything that I get from a content creator, yeah, is I'm going to be giving away to my community, yeah. I don't do it for the money. I don't do it for the recognition. I don't do it for all the fame and all that crap. I do it to try and give back to you guys. So anything, I don't get sent a lot of things because I have to pay for it all myself. But essentially, anything that I do get, I'm going to give away to all you guys in chat, so that you can not have to pay for it. It's a benefit. So these are Wi-Fi enabled floodlights. You can create really nice backgrounds with them. You can do all that stuff with regards to RGB here, there and everywhere, two-tone effects and stuff like that. So if you're interested in these, again, submit your setup on the community page, get into the Discord, drop me an email, I'll happily post them out to you. You can have them for free. Yeah, there's only 10 people, guys. Yeah, so like I said, reach out to me if anyone wants them. you're more than happy. You can have them. I've got no problem with regards to that. Don't just have them if you just think you're going to use them. If there's someone out there that really thinks, do you know what, that'd be amazing, this will really help me up, help me out, create a much better setup, give a bit better of an ambience or a feature or something like that, then send me an email. I'll send them out to you. It's not a problem. Exactly, Ray, and that's why I'm trying to get better in terms of reviews. I'm trying to get better in terms of building a community. I'm trying to get better in terms of communicating with everybody, in terms of obviously vendors, in terms of small businesses, SMEs and things like that, because the more stuff that I get sent, guys, the more my community will benefit from it. Because with the greatest respect, I don't need these kind of things and stuff like that, because I've already got them. And what's the point in me just having a shelf full of items like all these massive multi-millionaire YouTubers that've just got parts upon parts upon parts? All the parts you can see behind me, guys, they're all empty boxes, yeah? With the exception of a few bits and bobs, everything's empty, yeah? So everything that I get, once I review it, and they say I can keep it, then I'm just going to give giveaways on the channel. A thank you to you guys. And hopefully it can go to people that want it. Please send us the community page or the Discord link. Proudy, it's in, do you know, on my channel, it's on the community page there. So what I'll do is I'll post another community post, yeah, and it'll have the Discord link and everything like that. What I do really need is somebody that knows what they're bloody doing with Discord. With these live streams, I can just make a mod or something like that. I'm too bloody old for this kind of stuff. So if anybody wants to be a mod in this bloody Discord thing or this YouTube channel, then reach out to me, because I'm more than happy to allow you to add links and to allow people to put shortcuts and all that kind of stuff, because I'm useless when it comes down to that. Building these, do it all day long, no problems at all. When it comes down to software, I'm useless. But yes, guys, I will post another community post, and it'll have the Discord link on there. It'll have a couple of other things on my Facebook, my Instagram and stuff like that, if you wanna do that. Mr. Hydrated, I want to put a single RGB strip at the bottom of my case. I'll put it in the gap that's between the PSU basement and the side glass panel. Yeah. Is there any company that makes RGB strips specific for that? Mate, there is hundreds, absolutely hundreds. You could buy a USB one and pass it through into the back, through the back of your case here, and straight through the back here, and just plug it into the back of your computer if you wanted to do that. You've also got internal USB 2 headers. You've got also internal 5-volt headers, or some, depending on how many LEDs there is, 12-volt headers. Just depends on, number one, brand you're looking at, and number two, budget you've got. But yeah, there's a couple of other things. I think this one got sent out to me as well. I've got to do a review on these. Oh, these look really, really nice as well, to be fair. These Lepros, this is a 10-meter Dream Color. So if you've heard of Govee Dream Color, they're basically RGB IC chips. So you can basically choose whichever LED that you want, and you can change different settings in them. These basically do exactly the same thing, but they're not Wi-Fi. They are all done via the remote. But yeah, these are quite nice. Dream colours. I'm looking forward to reviewing these as well. Leo, me too. Let's get it. So once I've done a review on them, we'll get them out for review, and we'll get them obviously put out as a free giveaway for everybody as well. But guys, I'm hoping you've enjoyed it. If you have, like I said, I appreciate your support. I love having the conversations with you guys as well. It's much appreciated. I can't ask any more of you. Just make sure that we, if and when we go live, I'm not 45 minutes late, and we don't have as many power cuts as what we've had tonight. So we'll look to do either some unboxing videos or something else. I'm not sure how many more PCs we're going to be building this side of Christmas, because they are piling up in the other room, so I need to stop hoarding them and get rid of some of them, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, I'm looking forward to obviously doing some more of these. It's much appreciated. Love everyone. Thank you very much. Take care. Enjoy your weekend. See you in the next one. See you later, guys. Have a good week. Au revoir. Bye-bye.